Welcome to the Nut House. Another episode of, oh, for fuck's sakes, barking dogs who will drive you to, I don't know, want to put a bullet in your head, and end it all. Okay, you're going to hear a lot of this because I disengaged the doorbell, by the way. Happy Halloween. Another episode of Ghetto Antiques Roadshow where your dogs are going to make you like stutter and be nervous and, oh, for fuck's sakes. By the way, I put a note on the door, do not ring the doorbell, and I disengaged the doorbell anyway, and they're still ringing the fucking thing. And and well, they're pressing it and nothing's happening, but my dogs know that. So, all right, what did I get? What did I get? I put a bowl of chocolate out for them. I said, take 2, please. So I'm not that much of a bitch. And it is like really dark outside right now. Who would still be trick-or-treating? God only knows. All right, what did I get? What did I get? Oh my God, I got to take some Anacin for this video. Hold on a second. Shut up! Sorry about that. Oh, rip headphone wearers. I'm sorry. Yeah, my dogs, like, they make my train of thought, like, go in 50 different places when they bark like that. Again, I'm a nervous person, so it doesn't help. Ooh, this is very pretty, very nice. And what the hell is it? Oh, let's check it out. Oh, good. I think my dogs are finally done barking. And it's a cameo. I just got started being interested in these things. Don't know why. I always thought they were hideous and ugly. And when I was a kid, my grandmother used to have a couple in her collection. And I used to just think of this as granny shit. Like absolute granny shit. And I started getting into them because of their individual beauty. And so the fact that they're hand carved. So let's get in there close. Let's try to get a tight zoom. If we can, let's check out the side view. And you can see this raised relief. And each and every one of them, I mean, they all look the same. Like, before I started collecting them, I thought every single one of these looked exactly the same. And then I started looking at them and I noticed since each one is carved individually, mostly in Italy, they are actually quite attractive and quite really interesting. So this particular one, now here's the thing, I don't know very much about jewelry. I'm not a jewelry person. You can go watch Dr. Lori, who I don't know, I can't stand the bitch, but you can go watch Dr. Lori if you want to like find out more about like costume jewelry or jewelry in general. I'm not a cameo collector. I'm not really much of a jewelry collector, but I just started getting into it. So basically, if you're collecting cameos, what you're looking for are the earlier ones. And when I say earlier, prior to the 20s. And actually, the older, the better. So the older ones, the better done they were. So the better the carving, the more interesting the people on the actual shell. They did portraits. They did mythological people like goddesses and gods, like from the Roman and the Greek empires. They did actually pastoral scenes. So you'll see like also biblical scenes like Rebecca at the well. You'll see like lots of interesting ones. But I don't really like the ones from the 20s and on, pretty much. I want something early. But when I say early, I'm looking more for a Georgian era, Regency era, Victorian era one. And unfortunately, I can't really afford those ones. Those ones sell for a lot more. Now, what makes it more valuable? Well, if it's facing left, it's rarer. Most of them are facing right. The relief, how well it's carved. And this is, I'm no expert, by the way. I just did a little reading. The subject matter, if it has precious metal, if it has gems on it, what else? I'm trying to think. Certain kinds of things, like by certain actual carvers, especially from Italy in the 1800s, certain particular artists people go for. So these ones are not your most valuable cameos. This one was probably made in the Edwardian to the 20s time frame. So we're talking about probably about 1910 to about 1920. All right, so I can never leave anything alone, so I had to turn this into a necklace. Now, some of them were convertibles, so they would come with a brooch pin and also a bail. And so I turned this actually into a pendant. And they have pendant converters that you can buy on Amazon for under 10 bucks. And I placed it on the back right across. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. This is going to tip forward right across the back of the Cameo. And you can get this. It goes right across the pin back. It's a tube that slides in, and then you can hang a chain from it and turn it into a necklace. So upon looking further now, this is my goal. When I look for things on eBay, I try to find actual things that are valuable for pennies on the dollar. And so I was not sure what this was made out of. The seller said silver. And it turns out that this is actually better than I thought. So when I look for, I look for basically sellers that think that they're selling costume jewelry. Let's get in better lighting. And I did a test on this. And well, before I did the test, I was looking really closely. Now, if it has a precious metal, it's going to be in very teeny tiny little markings or stamps. And a lot of people, believe it or not, 9 times out of 10 fail to notice that. And that is the name of the game and my goal, to actually find things that are actually precious metal. So when, let me try to show you. I don't know if I can show you because my camera is sort of shitty. But right here on the actual, don't know if you can see that, the little latch, it says K14. And this was most likely made in Italy. Don't know if you can see that, but like on this thing, it says K14 in very teeny tiny letters. Don't know if you could see that at all. But yeah, so it said K14. So what I did was I tested it with acid, and guess what I found out? You won't believe this one. Okay, so the chain is not precious metal. I got it on Amazon. It's a 2mm snake chain with a magnetic closure. Yeah, I think I paid like 11 bucks for the chain. But, so when I did further investigation, now, by the way, look how shiny this is. I found out that this is actually 14 karat gold. Yeah, it's 14 karat white gold. This is white gold. Because, I mean, you look at it, you're like, all right, it's silver looking, right? A lot of people don't think that it would be white gold. Well, sometime in the Edwardian era to the 1920s, white gold was very popular. Also, palladium and platinum and I think rhodium. And so, wow, I tested this and this is actually 14 karat gold. What did I pay for it? Well, I paid $18 for the brooch. And by the way, these got to be precious. Actually, yeah, seed pearls, real seed pearls, since it does, test at white gold. Yeah, so wow. And yeah, so I paid like $11 in change for the chain, and for the converter, everything including the brooch cost me 38 doll hairs. And what do these things sell for? Well, let's check it out. Okay, so we see here this one's a pendant. It's not a brooch. It's actually white gold, 10 karat, selling for $275. And price on these are very subjective. Pretty much, I'm showing you like comparables. Pretty much, it could go for whatever somebody wants to list it at. I noticed when I used to sell on Etsy, I used to put a high price on my items, prices that were higher than the actual value. And because I don't like getting rid of my things, it actually upsets me. And so I just, for shits and giggles, would put prices that were like maybe 30% more than its value. And yes, they would sit there for a year, 2 or 3, or even 4 years, but they would eventually sell. So as they say, for every ass, there's a seat. Well, yeah, for antiques, that is too. This one, $199. And again, price subjective. So here's another one with the filigree. But this one is probably stone or onyx. And actually, those are more valuable. The stone ones are more valuable than actual shell ones. Plus, she's facing left. That's rarer. $1,200 for this one in white gold. And yeah, let's check out like the little video snippet. And so you can see it. Really, really pretty, actually. Very quite cool. Now, again, price subjective. This one is actually not even white gold. It's sterling silver. 245 doll hairs. Looks like the same exact style of lady that I have on my brooch. And again, we have sterling silver in that same type of design with the filigree. 109 doll hairs. And again, a sterling silver one without seed pearls, 285. And as you can see, the prices are all over the place. But now we have a white gold one selling for, well, this one has a really, really good carving. This is what I call a really, really, I don't know, I'm filming my screen, but this carving is actually quite exquisite. Of course, it's going to be worth more. $985 hairs, and this one is white gold. So what have we learned? We've learned that price is subjective. The older, the better. Left facing one is rarer. The actual goddesses come in all different designs and styles. There were all different decades these were made. The better the carving, the more the value, and the more rarer the scene on the cameo. This is more of a common one, almost like a Gibson type of girl. Probably Edwardian, I'm going to guess between about 1905 to about 1920. Also, we learn that you can actually, every dog gets their day. And you can actually find things that somebody thinks is costume jewelry, and it turns out to actually be white gold. And I was really, really, really happy about it. And what else do we learn? Price is subjective. Pretty much, you put a price on it, and somebody might actually buy it. And it could be a price that's really low and a price that's really high. But like I said, for every seat, there's an ass. And for every ass, there's a buyer. And something like that. So thanks for watching another one of my videos. This was a really great buy at 18 bucks. Will I get lucky like this again and get a white gold piece? Probably not. Not for a long time. But it's fun hunting for these things. And good luck on your hunts as well.